Hello, my tarot maniacs. I told you I had a lot of hairspray in. A lot of hairspray. So, boys and girls, we got a little bit of housekeeping to take care of. Let me see. I have questions from Becky, Haley, Lady of the Lake. Keep them coming. Please do them all in bold so that I can see them. I know the stupid mute button. It gets me every time. So guys, I got a Dyson Airwrap dupe and I'm struggling with it. I'm struggling with it. So, I see Peggy. I am working on coordinating a little bit better for my friends that are in Australia. So tomorrow, the members only live starts at 3:45, and then the general live is going to start at 5:15. Or I'm sorry, that's Friday. I'm sorry. So that's a little bit more engineered for people on your side of the world, but stick around because I think I'm going to do a weekend that is specifically for my Australians. So I am hitting some of the questions here. You guys are loading me up with lots of questions. I so appreciate it. This one is for you. So little housekeeping before we get started. I know there were a few people in the chat and out of the chat. We've got people coming in. Stick with me, guys. So I'm a little surprised at the results from the poll. Some of you do not like the the grading, but that's okay. You know, you don't have to watch it. I will, moving forward. The reason I asked was because I did the combined video. Someone had, they were a little confused and they were like, are you ever going to get to a reading when I did the grading and the reading separately? So I gave it a try. I combined it in this one. I don't know if you guys love it, like it, hate it. Not sure. So, we'll get it coordinated. So Australia, stick around. I am going to get up in the middle of the night and do lives for you guys because I have so many viewers from Australia, and I feel bad that you guys are watching at 7 o'clock in the morning. You know, it's not a great time to like sit down and say, hey, I really want to get a reading for myself, or hey, I have really good questions. You may be running out. You may be getting kids ready. You may be going to work. You may be still sleeping. So I want to make sure that we honor our friends down under. So we've got that on the list. I want to welcome Stephanie to the cookie jar. She came in as a member and I gifted 10 memberships. So Ian, you're part of the cookie jar now too. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Just to give you the skinny on the memberships, it gives you early access to my production videos. Every month you get a chance to win a free reading from me, a free private reading from me. We do that in a live. There is a private reading room every single week for you guys for free questions. Those are personal questions, pop culture questions that you can ask. This Friday, that'll be at 3:45 New York time. So if you want to become a member, you can come in for that. I will answer as many questions as I can. Then there's also every month I post up a link for a permanent discount on private readings with me. That's through my Calendly link. It's super easy. You pay at the time of the meeting, but it's a permanent link and it's a big permanent link. It's over $50 off my regular reading rate. So if you want to become a member, or if you are a member, know that you always have that benefit. So I love it. You guys are, a membership helps support my channel, helps me keep making content just like this. I got my good friend Trevor Colt in the chat. Trevor, we got to talk about your namesake over here. The guy's a maniac. My little kitty cat, Trevor Cat, MC, named after his uncle Trevor. If you're not subscribed to Trevor Colt, why not? It's free. Get over there, give him a subscribe. But more importantly, he's got a second channel. It's kind of like his alternate channel called Uncensored Hypocrisy. Mods, if you guys can drop the links for both of Trevor's, that would be great. I would really appreciate that. Trevor has always been a huge support to me, and whatever little boost I can give him, more than happy to do it. So tomorrow we're going to have a live reading room for paid readings at 3:30. That's going to be 3:30 New York time. It's going to be super fun. Happy hour starts at 3:45 on Friday, New York time, and the general audience happy hour starts at 5:15. So don't forget, if you are not a member and you want to get readings, you can always get 15% off on pre-ordered readings through the Hipsy link in the live. You just go in there. It'll take you right to it. You can pre-order your readings. And I am going to be open all weekend. I have a little bit of a morning on Saturday, but I'm going to be open all weekend long on Hipsy. Saturday, Sunday, we're digging deep, got bills to pay. So if it's your first time getting a reading from me, you can get 75% off the first 10 minutes. And it's a minute rate on there. It's a really cool app, but you can also order recorded readings. Very, very cool. It's managing the questions that I have through the live chats too. So all that being said, I didn't want to do too much housekeeping right up front, but let's get to your questions regarding Catherine, the Princess of Wales. And those of you that watched the premiere, I'd like to know what you think. It was a pretty positive reading for her, in my opinion. I think it was actually pretty positive. I think she's got a good year ahead of her. If you didn't watch it, after the news that Meghan was possibly going to return to the United Kingdom, I did a Duchess versus Princess production reading. go on over. I dropped it yesterday. It should be pretty interesting. I am confident that I'm going to have another production reading for you a little bit later on today. Again, members will get that first, and then it'll drop tomorrow for the rest of you guys. So Misty Moo, congratulations on your gifted membership. I just did that, and I was so excited in the comments. I was like, oh, Misty Moo. So guys, your questions today, of course, are free because this is the follow-up to the premiere. So definitely want to keep my baby birds fed. And I did see another question come in from Elizabeth. Elizabeth, another one of my friends from the other side of the planet. Elizabeth, I am going to be working on a time for Australians to get their own private live. I'm going to get up in the middle of the night. I might be in pajamas. I may have like night cream on my face. I may have my hair in rollers, but we're going to work on a time for you guys. I'm going to coordinate with my good friend, everybody's favorite subscriber, Dave Murphy. You guys know him. You love him. He's on all the channels. I'm going to talk to Dave Murphy and see what's going to be a good time to make that happen. So let's jump in, guys. Let's jump in. So we are going to start off with Becky. Becky, my good friend over there in the jib. But she's a wee Scottish lassie. And for those of you saying hi to Greg, he's upstairs. He's still cozy in bed. Oh, Misty Moo has snowy chaos. Oh, here he comes. Gregopedia is coming downstairs. He is not cozy in bed anymore. All right. So good morning, Greggy.
Morning.
So we're doing follow-up questions to Catherine, Princess of Wales predictions.
Okay.
Just letting you know what's on the table. So let's giddy up. Is Catherine, the Princess of Wales, nervous to become queen? Is she nervous?
She bought it. She knew what she was getting.
Life-changing. You know what, Greg? I think I agree with you. I don't think that she's nervous about it. I think she maybe at one point was a bit nervous about it. But now I think is it just a job? I think it is a job now. And I think that they have good support around her. I think they have good support around them, meaning the Prince of Wales and the Princess of Wales. And I do think that the king has put her at ease. Let's see. Has the king put her at ease? 7 of Cups, Queen of Pentacles. You know, I think the messaging from the king, and again, I do think that Queen Elizabeth, late Queen Elizabeth, was an immeasurable support to her. I think that the Queen Elizabeth really did create the on-ramp for the Princess of Wales to become Queen Consort. So the king has said, you know, the job is what you make it. You can determine how your reign is going to go. Is he kind of walking the walk and talking the talk? I don't think so. I think there's a little less proof in the pudding, but I think I just think that unfortunately his reign was, meaning King Charles, I think his reign is has a lot of pitfalls and a lot of potholes and just I think there were a lot of things that got in the way. And I think that he has this positivity about him that is a little bit closed-minded, a little bit blindered, or blinkered, a little blinkered. And I think he says, you know, it is what it is. Like, you know, we have to have faith in the grace of God and all of this stuff. Which, speaking of, Angela, oh gosh, what is her name? Angela, what is her name?
Lansbury?
No, Angela 11. Angela 11 said something about Zeph. Can you bounce Charles, please? Because he's asking me to make him bounce. It costs extra, Charles. Angela 11. Thank you, Misty Moo. Thank you. I was right. So it just escaped me for a minute. She got a new haircut. She said that there was some disclosure about the king's private prayer room, which none of us knew about, and that if Harry stayed at Highgrove, that he may show pictures or disclose that. Well, she just disclosed it. You know, I mean, Angela 11, she was Harry's, what do you call it? Official biographer. I don't know. She seems like she's got a little, thank you, Zeph. She seems like she's got a little bit of a loose lip. But I don't think that Catherine is nervous to become queen. I do think that she will be nervous to lose the king. I think that will be a challenge. All right. Zeph, Megs and Bacon apparently thinks that I do witchcraft. So Misty Moo, I think I agree. I think maybe she does need to you know, take a minute. Let's put it that way. All right, so let's go over to Haley's question. Will Princess Catherine's sister and brother be asked to help the royal family when Princess Catherine becomes queen, like a lady in waiting? Let's see. James Middleton, her brother, I find him fascinating. I think he is a very neat person. And I love that he was very open about his mental health struggles, has been. And I love that he breeds dogs. Like, who doesn't? I mean, I know like there's enough dogs in the world, like we could all adopt one, but animal husbandry is a science. It really is a science. So let's see, is Pippa like Pippa? I like Pippa. I don't think Pippa will become part of the royal court. I don't think she will. I think she is more focused on her family and not embedding the Middleton family into the workings of the royal family. I think they're completely happy being adjacent to the royal family. Wiggle Jimmy, my family, we're Christian and Jewish. So, you know, I believe in God, honey. I believe in God. So Wiggle Jimmy, off you go. You don't have to hang out here. So that's over on the vert, guys. Barney, you want to run over to the vert for me? So I think Pippa is going to make her appearances and hang out as needed with the royal family, go to some of the events, but I don't think that she wants to have a premier role in the royal family or in the court. Why need that? You know, she doesn't need that. How about, I know it's a little bit fun on the vert, but we'll take the views. We'll take the views. Don't make me repent that I put the vert on. So what about James Middleton? I like James Middleton. Good looking guy. Seems very nice. James Middleton. I don't think that he cares for royal life very much. I don't think that it's something that really appeals to him. I think it's a bit constrained and a bit I don't want to say stressful, just not, he doesn't like it. He wants to just have a relaxed environment with other people. Doesn't want to have all of the trappings and the etiquette. And this isn't to say that he is poorly behaved or poorly mannered, but I think that he just doesn't want to go through all of those motions. Who goes first? Which fork do you use first? Do you stand up? Do you sit down? Do you turn around? I think he is more content being a private citizen that is related to the Princess of Wales, and Queen in Waiting. I think he's more comfortable with that. He feels that, and I'll be honest, Pippa and James Middleton both feel very regular, if that makes sense. Catherine also feels very regular to me. She doesn't feel like she's trying very hard. There's an authenticity. I know that word got ruined, but there's an authenticity to them that I think it speaks volumes about their upbringing and about the way that their family has conducted themselves as just regular citizens. So I think hard work and just chilling out and being regular people. James, I feel like he is more comfortable putting on a pair of house shoes, some snuggly clothes, and just kind of putting his feet up on the ottoman, hanging out with those dogs. I think that's good. So that's all I have to say about the Middletons. We're going to cut that there. And what's our next one? Do we think Catherine has set up her court quite yet? Has she set up her court just yet? Yes, she has her people that she trusts. I will say this. I do think that there are some elements that she is going to almost pass on to other members of the royal family, other members of the working royals, if you will. So I think that, and we'll talk in another video about the crisis manager that William has allegedly hired, that allegedly is not working just yet, allegedly will not be working on any crises items to date. So I think that she's going to hand off some of the individuals that are lower ranking for her, that are in her court or in her office. She'll be handing those off. And the function of that is really to have a consistent message across the entire royal family. So I think that there's, if somebody was anti-Wales right now, they would say, oh, they're trying to put their people in place on other people's offices. Yeah, they are, but it's really for a consistent message across the royal family. So does that mean that those people, those lower ranking members, are going to drop down maybe to the children, maybe to Sophie, maybe to Zara and Mike? Zara and Mike are not working royals, I don't believe, right now. But I think that she's going to be spreading out some of the individuals that will carry a consistent message of royal family and royal family works over into other offices. So there's just a more consistent message. And I think that this is something that her and William have decided, that they are going to take like almost seeds from their offices and their houses or their house and drop them into other houses to make sure that the messaging is more consistent. Okay. So sounds good to me. Looking good. I think that is something that major corporations would do as well if they had some additional smaller companies or satellite companies to make sure that we have consistent messaging, notwithstanding American Riviera, Orchard, and As Ever. That did not work out, huh, guys? But I think some other companies like, Land's End is a great company. Land's End is a clothing company here in the United States. And they had at one point a company called Land's End Canvas, which was a younger, kind of hipper line of clothing. It was cut a little bit differently. It was cut more for like a 20-something body rather than a fully grown adult. And the messaging was consistent across the board, that it was durable, comfortable, fashionable. Just it was a different a different demographic that they were reaching out to. And I think this is the same thing. I think they're trying to kind of make sure that there's consistent messaging and not competing houses in the royal family realm. All right, so we're going to cut that there. Let's see what else we have here. Oh, for Pete's sake, this is a great question. And this is something that bothers me to no end. The consistent referring to Catherine as Kate Middleton is annoying to the nth degree. Annoying to the nth degree. Will the media stop? Well, let's unpack this. Why does the media still call her Kate Middleton? Because there's still conflicting parties on her. There's still some parties that think that there was a better choice for William, that there was a better one out there. Who? Point her out. Point her out. And there are some that don't want to see her as Queen Catherine. There's some that just will not call her that. Queen Kate, oh God, it sounds terrible, doesn't it? Will they stop? Will they stop? So wait, are these anti-monarchists? Look, same cards, guys. Yes, they're anti-monarchists. Anti-monarchists. It's Remy. Remy, we're doing just readings on Catherine, Princess of Wales right now. I do have a live reading room tomorrow at 3:30 New York time, and we have a general tarot happy hour at 5:15 on Friday if you want to join that, both New York time. So will there be a stop to calling her Queen Kate Middleton once she ascends to the throne? No. There's still going to be people. There's still going to be haters. I hate this. There's still going to be some haters, and it is haters, but I think that there will be a proclamation, not a proclamation, but I think there will be an announcement to, the formal terms that we should call her. No one's going to call him King Willie. I hope not. It really is offensive. And I do think psychically that calling her Kate Middleton is a shot. It's a shot. It's an insult. And they're going to, there's going to be some parties that keep doing it. There are going to be some parties that keep doing it. So that's a shame. I wish that was a different answer. So we'll certainly say it. Kate Middleton. Oh, what a mess. Queen Catherine. Long live Queen Catherine. All right. And I never drank soda, guys, but I'm having a soda today. I just had a hankering for it. All right. This is a little bit of a big one, guys. So we're gonna be here for a few minutes on this one. What is Catherine, Princess of Wales, relationship with like Harry right now. We're going to go one by one. Harry. So I do think that she does give him some grace, that Queen of Cups, the Nine of Cups. I think she gives him some grace, and I think that she feels he is extraordinarily unprotected and not well advised right now. That is what's going on. I think she does believe that he is correctable at this point. Correctable. And I do think that she does wish that there was an ability to reconnect this family. However, she understands that the communication is only going in one direction. Only one direction. That they can send out a message, it will be transformed and pitched back out into the world as something else. So I think while she would love to see the family whole and complete and have things corrected, it's been a bridge too far, and the communication breakdown is no good with Harry. Once upon a time, she really did like him. What is her relationship with Camilla? We keep hearing that there are fights between the two of them. Let's look at this relationship between the two of them. Seven of Cups, Eight of Pentacles, Ace of Swords, Knight of Cups, Magician up top, and the Seven of Wands. So got some sevens and eights here, guys. That is, remember, when we get to the eights, we've got a lot of velocity, a lot of momentum behind us, and we're kind of steaming towards the finish line. I think the relationship was a little awkward initially. I think that Queen Camilla maybe struggled a bit with finding their pace. I don't think that they're very similar. I don't think they have a lot of the same likes and dislikes. I think Camilla would like to sit and have a gossipy lunch, have a couple of gin and tonics. I think she likes to go out into the field in her tweeds and houndstooth and her muckers and likes to, go kind of get in the mix with everybody. I think she likes to go on the hunt. She likes to do those things. Catherine, I think, does them as a support team and as an interested party, not the participating party, if that makes sense. So I think that their likes and dislikes are a little bit different, and that they're just not the same kind of gal. They're not cut from the same cloth. Does that mean that they don't get along? No, I don't think that it does. I think that the differences between them create very different queens consecutively. I think we get with Camilla someone who is hyper aware of the opinions and the way that people have looked at her in the course of her relationship with King Charles. And the subsequent breakup of King Charles and the late Princess of Wales marriage. I think she had a lot to contend with, and I think that she was not allowed to get her head, if you will, because of the dislike and the associations that she had with that marital breakup. So I think the tactic between the two of them, meaning Catherine, Princess of Wales, and Queen Camilla, is let's take on different aspects of the British experience and latch on to those. So Catherine would not necessarily tackle a subject like domestic conflict. That's something that Camilla had taken over, domestic conflict. Catherine would take on the children and support of the children. We've seen that with her early education endeavors, whereas Camilla has been dealing with the fallout of poor marital situations with, again, marital conflict. I can't say the words here because YouTube will go bananas. So I think Catherine has a playful and fun kind of focus in what she is doing as a royal, and Camilla has much more of a corrective presentation and patronage. I can't say, I think even if I say the D word, it goes trigger, Greg. So I think that they have a strategy where the two of them are working different ends of the British experience, and that translates in the media to some who call her Kate Middleton that they are at odds. I don't think that they're at odds. I think that they are focused in different offices. If we were in like a corporate office, they would be in different parts of the building. So I don't think that the relationship is bad. I don't think that they're quite each other's cup of tea, but there it is. King Charles. How is her relationship with King Charles? Oh, that's sad. You know, I don't think that this is their bad relationship. I think that she is very, honestly, they're both trauma bonded now because of their experience with cancer. But I think, you know, we talk about survivor guilt sometimes, and I think that there is a bit of survivor guilt here because she is doing so well and King Charles is not progressing on the same kind of trajectory that her cancer did. And so I think that there's a certain sadness around that particular relationship. And I think she knows what direction this is heading. And I do think that she wishes there was more that they could do to correct that course. You know, worst part about being the monarch in waiting is that the person who's right above you has to go before you can step into that role. And I think it is exciting to become king and queen, but at the same time, it is very sad. We all mourned, everyone that watches this channel, we all mourned together when Queen Elizabeth passed away. So I think that there's a sadness about their relationship. And I think that she does have a bit of survivor guilt there. So how about her relationship with Meghan? Good Lord. Get me a bookmark. Get me a bookmark. I would never in my wildest dreams start selling bookmarks because I read on digital. Oh, thank you, Annette. That's nice. Little prayers there. Yeah, I know it's tough. So Catherine's relationship with Meghan. And I want to thank Ian for this question, new member, because this, I think, is an important question. So I'll clip this and we'll have a little shorter version here. So she never wants to be in the same room as her again. And her fiercest, most important role is to protect her children. We're seeing that right here. Then we've got the Two of Swords, the Four of Pentacles, Seven of Pentacles. I do think that Catherine regrets some of her more polite behavior dealing with Meghan. I think she regrets it. I think part of her says, I should have, you know, done that manager 101 training where you kind of step to the occasion with a bit more loftiness. But I think that she did. I think that day that they went over and met Meghan for the first time at Frogmore Cottage, and Meghan was in the ripped jeans and the bare feet, I think that she had gone over there conducted herself in a very, not formal manner, but an appropriate, respectful manner. And I think that she was really taken aback that this individual was kind of taking the relationship with Harry's family in kind of a flip way. She was just like, oh, they're just a family. It's just your grandma. No, she's the queen. Hi, TT. I hope you are having a good day, my dear. Guys, drop some love and strength in there for TT. She's just going through some stuff right now. She needs a little bit of support from us. I'm going to throw her some hearts. Throw TT, Twisted Tiara, a little bit of love in there. She needs as much as she can get, A little bit of love for TT. I appreciate it. Oh, thanks, Greg. That was nice. So I think that Catherine will lean heavily into her marital relationship for a consensus approach to Meghan. I don't think that there's going to be any restoration of this. The main focus for Catherine, Princess of Wales, is the protection and guidance and raising up of her children happy, healthy, and as normal as they can be in this situation. She is raising them up to rise to the occasion of their birth. So I don't think that she has any room for Meghan at this point. And I think the further away, the better, keeping them locked out of certain quarters. I will say this, I think that they are already preparing to not have certain locations available to them, which I think is going to be very interesting. I think that preparation is happening now. Certainly they will not be allowed to Royal Lodge. They're not going to be allowed to Amner Hall. But I think they're working out the details of whether or not they can ban them from other locations. I know they were talking about, there was a leaked story that Highgrove had been offered to Harry and Meghan during the Invictus Games. It's not that far from Birmingham. And now there is a discussion that that will be taken away again, because Angela Levin said that there's a private prayer room for King Charles. They don't want anybody in there. They don't want that revealed. But also that Highgrove, because it is part of the Duchy of Cornwall, if I understand this correctly, is now under the control of William, the Prince of Wales, who is in charge of the Duchy of Cornwall. So I do think that Meghan may try some interesting stuff with Highgrove. We're going to do a reading on that separately, so keep an eye out for it. So do we think that the potential ward that I saw coming into the Wales orbit is Archie? So those of you that didn't watch the premiere, I don't think that Catherine and William are going to have any more children. I think, quite frankly, I think she's a little bit old. She did have some challenging pregnancies. I don't think that they're going to go like a surrogate route or something like that. But I do see them taking on a child. And at one point, I thought maybe it was an adoption. But now I'm starting to think that it's a ward and that it is a child that they support, very similar to themselves, to how they would treat their own children. Let's see. Is that ward Archie? No. Is it Lily? Perhaps. So let's go and see if there is a little situation with Lilykins. Oh dear, we're going to find out some information, guys. There's misinformation that's going to be revealed. That is number one. Number two, so I do think that this particular child, Lily, will be in a precarious and questionable situation should she remain in the United States. I'm just going to say, I don't think she's in danger of an individual coming after her or anything like that. But I think she almost has no name. I keep hearing no name in the United States, no name in the United States. I am not going to be surprised if this kid winds up back in the United Kingdom. I'm not going to be surprised. And I think that there's a wide gulf between her care and support and the Waleses. So what does this mean, guys? Do they... There's, you know what? I can't really do a perspective on this because there's a lot of discussions about it at the Mo, guys, at the Mo. I know, TT, you don't want him back there. Oh, I just dropped a card. Let's see what it is. Queen of Pentacles. Megan doesn't want to mother this child. She does not want to mother this child. But I do think that they will support this child. I think William and Catherine will support what they would describe as, they would describe her as like a child in need. She is a child in need, and she just isn't going to have the kind of support. Catherine would offer up to raise this child, but it's too complicated in the optics. It's impossible in the optics. Humanaki says here, I heard that Lily is from an illegal. That's interesting. You know, the biological origins of this child baffles me, really baffles me. I can't determine like where she came from. And I really wonder about that box of hair that's on the nightstand. I really, really wonder about that box of hair. Is it possible to use that hair to do something? Is it possible? We'll do a little bit more on this a little bit later. We'll do a little bit more on this later. All right, we'll clip that there for right now. All right, so this is a big question. Humanaki, big question. Big question. Does Catherine Humanaki, Catherine, does Catherine know about the Fergie Epstein connection? Does she know more about it? Not really. She doesn't really know much about it. She's still in the process of learning. Does she know about the Epstein-Markle connection? Yes, she does have information on that. What is she going to do with that information? That information will be dripped out to the media. And I'm sorry that I don't think that this is a bad thing on the part of Catherine at all. I think dripping that out to the media, she's not doing it alone. She's doing it with the Prince of Wales. But I think they're going to drip out some information. So keep an eye on the news, eye on the ball for that. We may see more and more information. How long until we hear more about that? It'll be over the next year. The reason why I'm saying over the next year, wands are spring, and we may get some mini leaks, but the real info comes out in the fall. The real info comes out in the fall. I think we are going to see some blockbuster kind of revelations. Some blockbuster revelations as we get closer to the changing of the guard with the throne there in Great Britain. So, sorry guys. Why did Prince Philip despise Fergie so much? She was a troublemaker. And I know a lot of us watch Maureen Callahan and we think troublemaker is a great word now. She was a troublemaker. She created a lot more problems than we're aware of here on planet Banal, plebeian planet. There's a lot more that was going on behind the scenes, and I think like the little ADHD for Fergie there. I think she was a little verbose. I think she spoke out of turn at dinners and things like that. I think she was a bit difficult to manage. And managing her for Prince Philip was not having her there at all. The devil is better gone. The devil is better gone. What was his top thought? Get her out of here. Get her out of here. I don't want to look at her. I don't want to deal with her. Energy from the past. Judgment. He absolutely was judging her. Absolutely. And in the future, this was a kingly decision. I know he was Prince, the Duke of Edinburgh, but this was a kingly decision. He banished her from the kingdom because she was troublesome. Very, very troublesome. It was not just the toe sucking thing. It was not just the poor finances. It was not just the divorce and the cheating and whatnot. It was everything about her got under his skin. When he heard her walking down the hall, he would lose it. He would just be like, I can't deal. So I think that she just irked him. If that's something that makes sense to you guys. She just was uncouth and ill-mannered, absolutely ill-mannered. So what have we here? We'll do that. All right. Does Catherine, how much information does she have about Meghan Markle? Everything she knows about her, she can't stand. She knows that there's no substance. Oh boy. Oh my goodness. Look at all those reversals, guys. There is not one thing about Meghan Markle that is true, not purposely crafted, purposely created. There's nothing authentic about her. This whole authenticity thing is a whole bunch of hooey, and her success as an actress, actor, artiste is false. And now it's extended dance remix into her commercial endeavors, her marketing and commercial endeavors. There's as far as Catherine's concerned, this person is a facade. There's nothing true about them. And I think maybe that's why she has a bit more sympathy for Harry, because he's been duped so badly. As queen, will Catherine have a Queen of Hearts moment? Off with her head. Yes, keep them far away from me. I don't care how it is seen. I don't care if it is just or unjust. I am working toward better things for our beloved royal family. So that I think Meghan gets in the way of Queen Catherine's endeavors. And that's not in a selfish, greedy, commercial kind of way. She's distracting from all the patronages. She's distracting from the attention that they need to put on needy and good causes. So I do think as queen, she will put a wide berth between them. So Elizabeth, I will address that because Candace Owens is, with the Brigitte Macron thing and Ben Shapiro thing. I'm a big fan of Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro actually looks like what my dad looked like when he was young. So he was in his 20s. So actually like him a whole lot. I think he's very sensible. I'm sure he does not like tarot readers or psychics. So I'm at the door, but I will cover this. I'll drop a production video about the whole beef between them, possibly over the weekend. So give me a little bit of time. I've got some production time. I've got physical therapy. I've got a huge bruise on my back right now because yesterday I got slide cup therapy, and they also put a whole bunch of lidocaine and this not breaking up material into me. So I had acupuncture, and then I had a needle actually with lidocaine and something else. It's like a anti-inflammatory that was put in there. It worked a little bit on the left side. It didn't work as well on the right side, but they said that clot was really big. But I've got a big bruise on my back from the slide cupping. So I'll put a pin in that question for you, Elizabeth. We'll deal with that later. Will Sophie have a special role in Queen Catherine's court? Will Sophie, the Duchess of Edinburgh, have a special role, highlighted role in Catherine's court when she becomes queen? Again, this is a no. It's a no. But ask me why. Tell me 3 other things about it, Greg. So ask me why. Because this is very similar to the Queen Camilla and Princess of Wales, Catherine, Princess of Wales dilemma. Sophie has different skill set. She has an interest in a different skill set in other things and is better representing other things rather than warming her hands by the fire that is the queen consort, Catherine Queen consort. She really can kind of stand on her own. And I do think that there's a little bit of a lend from Catherine and William to have a Edinburgh court. I think they're allowing that to happen because Edward and Sophie are singing from the same hymnal. Maybe not the same page, the same patronages, but the focus is the same. The end game is the same, and I think that they're really confident that they have loyalty and security with Sophie and Edward. I think they are very, very confident about that. They like their ideas. I think Sophie is a true monarch. She really is all in with this family. And I think Edward is content to see out his days as the Duke of Edinburgh. That's really a pretty lofty position. Is there anything higher than that? Well, yeah, you become the king. And I think Edward is very comfortable in that position, as is Sophie. I think Sophie, Sophie is certainly going to outlive him. I hate to say that, but she will remain in good service even after she is widowed. So, So there we go. There we go. That's a bit on Sophie, the Duchess of Edinburgh, in the court of Catherine, Queen Consort. Baby 12425. I don't think I've ever seen you here. Welcome to the cookie jar. So, will Catherine be healed from cancer and stay healthy? Will Catherine be healed from cancer, stay healthy? I do think that one of the components of her staying healthy is to not allow any growth hormone go rogue. So what does that mean? You know, if there is any kind of, I do think that there's a maintenance of her hormone shifting that they're really trying to keep a handle on. You know, those of you that have ever had someone who is young that gets cancer or something like that, sometimes when you get pregnant again after it, it can make the growth hormone can activate some of the cancers in there. I'm not a doctor. I'm not an endocrinologist. I don't know the correlation, but sometimes the growth hormone can affect it. And I believe that that is exponentially more true when it is a reproductive organ that's affected. So I think that they are making an effort to maintain a good hormonal balance. Now, is Catherine menopausal? I don't think so. You know, is it naturally menopausal, I should say? But are they doing something, or did they do something that would put her into a bit of menopause? I have some friends that have done that. I think that they are keeping her well observed. I think that they are trying to make sure that none of those growth hormones get their head either. That term that I'm using is a horseback riding term. Letting the horse get its head. It's letting the horse run out. Zeph, back me up on this. My horseology is strong. So I think there's maintenance that's going on, and I think her continued good health is dependent on that maintenance of her hormones and the growth hormones that are in there. So prayers to our little Catherine. Make sure that she stays healthy and sound. And Solarian, top commenter. Hello, Solarian. Hello, Solarian. If Queen Camilla outlives King Charles III, will she cause Catherine to feel under control by loitering, just as the Queen Mum did to her daughter, Queen Elizabeth II, and Phil the Greek? That's a loaded question. Excellent. Excellent. So this is kind of a what if reading. So what if Queen Elizabeth outlives King Charles III? How will Catherine feel about that? I'm just going to reframe it.
Camilla.
What did I say?
Elizabeth.
Oh, how will Queen Camilla feel about it? Her position will be done and dusted. And I do think that Charles is or has already worked out what the treatment of Camilla will be. I think he is being very, very careful about that. We have far too many examples of royal consorts that were maybe a second wife or maybe a mistress, as we saw in the French court, And as the king is dying, they're cast out on the street, left to their own devices. You guys have to bugger off. I think that Catherine will extend a certain amount of grace to Camilla. I think that when the king does pass, if he passes before Camilla, I think that there's going to be concessions by Catherine put into place to bring her back into the personal home, not out on the balcony. I don't think we'll see her on the balcony after the king passes, but I think events, she will be given a place of prominence. She will be given a place of honor, not with like a huge entourage, but as a place of honor. I do think that she serves as a grandmother, a step grandmother, if you will, of sorts to the Wales children. I think that they are being taught to be very respectful to her and to honor that position and to honor the flaming hoops that this poor woman has had to go through. Like her lover, like her hater, Camilla has had to go through a lot. She's run the gauntlet in the press. She's run the gauntlet in the courts privately. So, I do think that Catherine will make concessions. I think there's going to be a lot of courtly, well, what are we maintaining this woman for? Let her go. Let her do her own thing. The king set her up. We don't have to do this. I think there's going to be a lot of friction in the court with how Camilla is being treated by the existing royal family, by the new monarch, correction, not by the new monarch, but by the people in the court. I think there's going to be some discussions about why the hell is she here? And I think Catherine is going to try and counter that with teas and luncheons and things like that. Queen Camilla absolutely will be provided for. Annette, I agree with you. She's going to be provided for. But I think the thing that you can't provide for is the rumor and the innuendo and the craptastic opinions of people that are walking around. Those opinions will be quiet, but they will be leaked to Catherine. And I think she will feel very badly about it. And she will make concessions for Queen Camilla to feel a little bit more comfortable. And she kind of takes her under her wing, so to speak, and brings her into a few smaller events, just to say, hey, you know what? She's all right by me. She's all right by me. So, all right, we're just at an hour and 15, guys. So I think we are going to wrap up this last question. I think we're going to leave it, and I'll save some of these questions to do either in shorts or a bonus video for you guys this weekend. So this is a blockbuster question from Sally. So it may take more than a few minutes. So I'm going to close questions for now, guys. If your question did not get read, I will hang on to it and I will stick them in a doc and answer them in a supplemental video. I'll drop it either Saturday or Sunday. So keep an eye out for that. That'll be a production video. I just don't want to keep you all here too long. I know we already had just about 40 minutes on the premiere. So I want to respect your time. I know you can't spend all day over here. And I know there are some other content creators that you want to go watch their lives and their production videos. So let's get through this one. So who is responsible for taking down the Clarence House article about the Sussex duo staying there? Those of you that don't know, there was some leaked information that Harry and Meghan were offered to stay in Highgrove. They were offered a place to stay in Highgrove, allegedly by the king. So who is responsible for that? Did the king order it? Did the king say, get that out of here? I do think that he had an opinion. Did the order come from the Prince of Wales? Yes. So we are not going to be privy. Oh, I got you, Sally. Don't worry about it. we are not going to be privy to who gave this order, who gave the command. I am going to say it came from the king and his heir. It came from both of them. Why? Let's unpack it a little bit more. Why? So we've got the Empress, the Sun in reverse, 4 of Pentacles, and 7 of Swords. You know what this tells me? We're not going to baby you. We're not going to mother you. We're going to bring this information out very, very slowly and carefully. We're not going to turn the Invictus Birmingham event into an official royal event. We're going to keep the narrative tightly wound. We are going to deflect like we're playing pickleball or tennis or the paddle sport of your choosing. We are going to deflect it when there are bad players here. This was bad information. We're going to unwrap that in just a second. Let's unwrap that like the bitter piece of candy that it is. Did Harry and Meghan leak the purported invitation to stay at Highgrove as a way of forcing the hand of the royal family? Yep. Yes, they did. They were trying to change the narrative and show that Harry is a beloved member of the royal family, that they wouldn't leave him out in the cold. They wouldn't expect him. Birmingham is a crazy place right now, especially after that Ozzy Osbourne funeral. It is a crazy place right now, and they would not possibly make him stay in a hotel there in Birmingham with all those soldiers that are all troubled. This was information that they leaked out, trying to reconnect to the royal family, trying to bring that beat back, bring that sweet beat back that we are part of the royal family. And my father would never let me stay out there. They're going to try and walk it back again. They're going to try and show that while they left the royal family, they never left the family. So Zephyr, go ahead. No problem. I'm closing this down in just a minute. So this was an attempt to show that they are still under the protective umbrella of the king and force the king's hand. This was an effort to force the king's hand. While we're at it, let's just see what the king's response was to this. What was the king's response? Well, if you need a place to stay, I'm certainly happy to work on something for you, but I'm not going to just okay the plans that you've leaked to the public. It's not how any of this works, my darling boy. What was William's response? Well, if he wants to stay someplace, he'll have to pay. But we're not going to unwind this great ball of yarn that he has tangled in his throes. So I do think that William says, well, he's welcome to come and stay anywhere he wants, but he's got to pay for it. He's not staying on royal property. We're not giving him entrance into the royal family world. Misty Moo, yes, that is me. That is me. Absolutely. Yes. That was once upon a time I was covering up my personal accounts, but alas, my personal accounts are all over the place. So yes, that is me. That is me over on Facebook. So yes, I think William is inclined to have them pay for their own accommodations and not couch surf in the royal family. So yes, interesting. So guys, like I said, if I did not read out your question, and this will be a process moving forward, if I did not read out your question, I will gather those questions from the selected chat, and I will answer them in a bonus video because I know that you love Catherine, the Princess of Wales. I just real quick, what do you guys think of this, my new background and the new background plate. Like, is this working? I think it's working. I think I finally found a background that works really, really well, and it doesn't blend in with the table. And I think we've got a winner. Is this a winner? The surround, the background, is it a winner? I think it's a winner. It looks great. Thank you, Penny Jonas. New member. Love that. So guys, I do want to cut this down. We've been here for a bit. TT, I hope you are having a good day. Thank you for your opinion on the backdrop. I appreciate that. I do want to make this easy on your eyes. I try and make it as simple as possible. I want to thank my mods, even though my number one mod, Zephyr, had to skip over. She operates on a lot of different channels, and she's really good at what she does. So I want to give everybody, all the mods, an applause. Make sure that you hit that like button on the way out if you haven't already. And if you haven't used up your hypes for the week, hype up some of my videos. I saw a subscriber dip last week, an alarming one, but I saw a great subscriber bloom this week. So I think partially that was because I changed the format. I didn't have as many production videos up for you guys as possible. I'm doing a lot more clips for this week, so they're a little bite-sized things that you guys can go watch. And if you want to go watch the clips playlist, you'll see some of the clips from all of the videos. Oh, thank you so much, Indigo Star. I appreciate that. Yes, the plants, some are real, some are fake. We've got some interesting stuff here. But welcome to all the new members. I gifted out some memberships. Again, membership, you get early access to the videos, you get a permanent discount on private readings. You also are eligible for a free private reading once a month. I do a drawing, and one lucky member gets a free reading that they get to use within that month. So we'll highlight you on that. So guys, with that, I am going to take a human moment. Then I'm going to open up for instant readings later this afternoon on Hipsy. I have to go see my pain management doctor. He's got to check out how my epidural is functioning and decide whether we're going to do another one in the near future. And I did get some injections in my back yesterday, which was fantastic. Wide awake for that. Wide awake. Just a little lidocaine on the skin, a little lidocaine in the knots, and I am feeling better than I was over the last few days. So I appreciate all of you. Thank you so much for spending time here. I know you have a lot of choices on the number one streaming service on the planet, YouTube. You have a lot of choices for who you can stop by and visit. And I appreciate each and every one of you spending some time with me. This is a positive channel. Really want to uplift and peel back some of the energy behind the news and the royals and the politicians and the things that are going on in my world and your world. So thank you so much. If you would like, if you have private questions, I know I saw a few fly by. Tomorrow is a paid reading room at 3:30 East Coast time, New York, New Jersey time. I'm more than happy to do that. Take questions from you. It is a paid reading room. So if you would like, you can get 15% off a live reading. If you have questions that are suitable for a live reading, you can go order them now. The link is open. Just go over to the live, set the bell for yourself, and go in there, click on Hipsy, and you can order that reading for yourself. We'll also be doing paid readings on Friday afternoon in the tarot happy hour at 5:15 on Friday, again, New York time. So guys, I hope you have a great rest of your day. I'm going to be dropping clips and all kinds of goodies for the rest of the day. And I will see you guys in the future. Are we going to see each other in the future? I hope so. So make sure you hit that bell so that you get alerts for when my shows are coming up. I will see you all real soon. Thanks again.